Nice to see you guys again. Today's chapter we are going to talk about a machine learning model for decision tree, especially for supervised learning. In Chinese, we call 监督式的学习. There are two types of machine learning. One is supervised learning, 监督式的学习. The other one is unsupervised learning, 非监督式的学习. So for the previous chapters, we have talked about how to use the visualization to realize the data. And for the last week, we have talked about the method for linear regression, 线性回归. So for today's course, I would like to talk about how to make a decision tree, supervised learning for our data set, especially for the same topic as previous. Okay, so first you have to go to your working directory. So here is when you go to your working directory, you may find the data set, the files we are going to use. So today's we are going to use machine learning, this one, machine learning. Number 3, from engagement to conversion. So we use a decision tree model. And also you may download the dataset, which is the bank full.csv file. Okay, so first, as you guys know, we have to import the required package, required model for our data analytics. Matplotlib is our data visualization package. Pandas is for the data manipulation. NumPy, and also we like to import a Seaborn is also a data visualization tools for us. So first you have to run this source code to import the required package. So since this is a cell, so you may run the cell by using this one. Okay, so run current cell and go to the next one. So we use this one to separate the cell for each part. So you may go, when you cursor in this cell, so you may go to run, to click this one. So run cell, right? So you may find run cell for all the required package import for us. You may to mark all the instructions and run individually. It's okay. So two ways. After you have import the required packages, so we have to import the data set we are going to analyze. So we have to use the bank full.csv. So you may take a look at what is the bank full.csv looks like. Okay, so this text file dataset is separated by semicolon 分号 not by colon, comma, 不是用逗点. So this file is separated by semicolon. Okay, now colon, comma. So for the first one, for the first row is the header, is the variable name for each column. Okay, so so we have to import the data set. So we use the pandas function read CSV. So don't forget to change the separator from comma to semicolon. 记得这边要用 semicolon. So you have just to look at the splitter is semicolon. 不是 colon, comma, 不是逗点. Okay, so we have to import the data set. So you may find the data set in the Variable Explorer here. So here, we have import the data set successfully. So you may double click the name df, and then you can take a look at what is the content for this data set. So for the first column is the index for the data set. The first column we use is age, right? The second is job, and all the way to the end, the y. Do you guys remember the data set? What is the purpose for the data set? So for this data set, we are going to use the y, which is conversion. So does your client describe your term deposit? 他有没有买你们的定期的保险、定期的存单 ？Okay, so you may find what is the factor. Okay, 哪些是因子 ？What is the factors will affect your customers to buy your term deposit? 买你们的这一个定期的存单，就是这个 Y 会跟其他的因子有哪些的相关 ？Okay. When you import your data set successfully, so you may have to look at what is the dimension, what is the head, what is the color name for your data set by using this kind of functions. So ship is the dimension to display the fields and the data. So how many records? For 45,000, more than 45,000, 超过了45000笔的资料。So how many variables? Only 17 variables, 17个变数。So as the previous data set, we use up to 21 variables. 上个资料集我们用了21个变量 ，but for this one we only use 17 variables. Okay, head. Please show me the first 5 rows for the data set. The first one, the second, 3, 4, 5. So don't forget the index from Python is start from 0. So the index 0, it means the first element. What is the color name for your data set? So there are 17 variables name for this data set: age, job, marital, education, all the way to the y variable. You may show each columns by this one. Please show me the y variable, the first 5 elements for y. Okay, so you may so we have to convert the y because the y is a category data, 是一个名目型的资料 it only with no and yes. So we have translate from no to 0 and yes to 1. So we have did this before. So we use apply the data, the variable y, use the lambda function. If x equal to no, it represent 0. Otherwise will be 1. So the yes will be 1. So we have to create a variable which conversion. So you have known this function before. Okay, so we right now how many columns for the data set? we create a new variables called conversions. So right now is 18 variable for our data set. So we can see the variables name again. So right now a new variable name we name conversion. Okay, please show me the new variables 5 elements for this variable. Okay, so you may compare with these two columns, which is y and his conversion. Does the lambda function do the correct process? So here you may see, so it translates no to 0. Okay, so yes, so we show the tail, the last 5 elements for this data set. So with here you can see, so we translate yes statements to 1, no statement to 0. So we just create a new conversion column. Okay, so show the first 5 elements for each. For the data analyze, so we have to do the color names and show me the list for the color name. 18 variables, age, job, maritals, all the way to conversion. Okay, so how many rows for this data set? So this brand marketing data set consists of more than 45,000 rows. So it means more than 45,000 customers say they have joined the campaign, the direct marketing campaign. 所以说超过了45000个客户来进行像这样子的一个活动。For the first, we have to find out the missing value for each column. So we use the df dot is new. Is new is to check if this cell is missing value or not. So you can see here, it will check all the cell if it is missing value or not. If it is not missing value, it will identify with false. If it is a missing value, it will identify with true. So what is the mean for all cells? So but we usually use the summation for the number of missing value. So with here you can see each column, the missing value is 0. So it means our data is clean, it's perfect without any missing value. Okay, so the missing value is 0. So there is no missing value in the DF dataset. Okay, so we have to know the information, the basic information of our dataset. So for the age, is the data type is integer. For the job variable, the data type is object, character, 名目型的变数. So there are how many variables are category, like the job, marital, education, default, housing, loan, contact, months, outcome. So these are object variables. So you can to list the category variables like job, marital, education, default, housing, loan, month, and years as a list for category columns. So you may find here we create a new variable called category variable. So this variable contained 9 elements, since the index is from 0 to 8. So 9 variables. Okay, so we have to draw the diagram for these 9 category variables. So you may see the bar chart for each category variables. So you may find the job, each job labels. So how many, what is the count for each job title? What the status for marital, divorce, single. This here is divorce. This one is married, single, divorce. So you know the count for each marital label. Education is the same, and also with the Y variable, because Y is 2 variable, 2 category, right? No and yes. What else? Loan. Yes. Does the customer has the personal loan or not? Loan is mean 个人信贷 personal loan. Housing loan 房贷. Does the customer has the housing loan or not? Yes and no. You may see the distribution for these 2 labels, especially for housing. Okay, so just close the diagram. If your diagram not show on an extra diagram, you may show on this part. So you may change the situation to show on a new diagram. So you have to use this one, preference. This one, preference. IPython console graphics. So change the back end with Qt4 or Qt5. So you may have your diagram in a new Windows. Okay, so here you can see the category variables distribution for each category variables. Let me explain how to draw the diagram. So we use the matplotlib function. Okay, plt. Don't forget we use the import. This one, matplotlib as plt, right? For data visualization. Okay, so since we need to plot 9 subplot in a same diagram, 我们要画9个小图在一张图里面. So we use the function we call subplot. So we use the subplot to show the subdiagram in each diagram. So I use 3 by 3, 3 multiple 3. So it means there are 9 subplots in a diagram like this one. Right? We show a one diagram with 9 subplots. 我们一个图秀了9张的小图. So we use this function. Subplot 3 by 3, 3 multiple 3. So it means 9 subplots. We use the count 0. Also we use the cat column in cat columns. Category columns we know is a list for the category variables, right? This one, cat variable columns, this one, with 9 category variables. So we use one by one. The first we use the job, and we use the job, this one, okay, to calculate the value count, and we to draw the x, y. Okay. Later I will show individual sub diagram for each category variables. Okay, so there is an example for loop function. What is a for? For is a loop statement. In Chinese we call 回圈. So you can ask the computer to do as many times as you wish. Okay, so here we use the syntax for I variables in range, which is 1 to 10. The first one is the starting number, the star from 1, and end number with 10. What is this one is step. So the increment for each loop. So with this function, you may see here the result. So the first thing is assign with the I with 1, this one, and print 1. Print I in 1, right? And then he will go back to, so with the incremental 1, so 1 plus 1 will be 2, so print 2. Okay, it will go back again, 3, 2 plus 1, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 9. Okay, so 10, it means the minus 1, so it end with 9. 它只到9, okay, only 9, not 10. What about this one? So we count from 1 to 9, this one, 1 to 9, and the incremental is 2. 公差就是2, 所以说 plus 2. 1 plus 2 should be 3. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 plus 2, 9. So you realize the syntax for loop for 4 functions. So you may start from 2 all the way to 8. What about this one? From 1 to 9. If you omit, if you didn't specify the step number, so it default should be 1. 假如你没有写第3个数字的时候呢，它就当成是1。Okay, so you may use this one for short. So what is this syntax for? It starts from 0 all the way to 9. So you can make a practice. Okay, so for 4, you can use I in range statement. Also, you can use in fetch a list. So here we can see how many variables in category columns here, 9. So it will use the category number, the category columns, use job first and marital in the second, third for education. So you may see the result for these 4 statements. First, the cat columns variable, it use the first one, job, and print the job, and then go back to for the second elements in cat columns, which is marital, and then go back to 3, 4, 5 all the way to y, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 elements in cat columns. Okay, so here is your homework to use a bar chart for each category variables. Here is an example as example for bar chart. Okay, let me explain how does this bar chart come from. So here you can see we have a student name in Jack, Mary, Michael, Mike, David. There are 4 students name in the students variables, and their math scores 数学的成绩 75, 67, 90, 80, 81 for each students. Okay, so we use the bar, this PLT bar. We use the bar chart for these 4 students and show the mathematics score for each one. So you can see here, Jack, the score for math is 78. 78. What about for Mary? 67. For Mike is 90. Okay? And we also do coloring for each student with red, green, blue, and yellow. Okay, so you know how to draw a single category variable with a bar chart. Okay, so let me show with the category for marital label. Okay, so here is the bar chart for the 3 labels for category for marital status: married, single status, divorce status. So you can see this function. So we retrieve the marital column, this one. 仅仅使用婚姻状况。So we count the value for each label. So you can get the value count, this one. So it count each label's numbers for each. So for the maritals is more than 27,000. Single is 12,000. Divorced is 5,000 for each labels. And also you can draw the bar chart with green, with red, green, blue. So you know how to draw the diagram for each category label. Okay, so here is the same. We used this one, X marital. It's the same. Okay, it's the same. But so you may see here, marital, DF, marital. This one. So we to translate with the value count as a data frame. This one, marital df, doing the same thing. So so you may exercise with this part, so you get errors. So you get errors. Why? Because you use all the columns. So you have to specify each columns to draw the bar, because you can see here the data type, the type arrow is only one size array to convert to the bar chart. Okay, so don't forget to use only single column for your diagram. Okay, so here is your homework. So please to use the bar chart for each category, especially for job, education, default, housing, loan, contact, months, and year. Yes. So you just to replace, you can use the source code Archmite, this from here. So you just replace marital as job. It'll be okay. So marital with job, and you can specify okay, with a job value count as you available, as you like. Okay, here. This job, this so here we marital, so you can rename the marital, this one, as a job df. So we can do the same process as I did before. Okay, it's your homework one. So to draw the bar chart for job, for education, all the way to y. Okay, so next section we are talking about the distribution for continued variable, which is numerical variable. 等一下我们就要去谈到数值型跟连续型的分布图了。OK。